Jake Morrison checked his suit one more time. The thick gloves felt heavy on his hands. The helmet sat snug around his head. Every seal was tight. Every system showed green. He had to be careful. One mistake on this planet could kill him in seconds, nervous. Amy Collins asked through the radio. She stood next to him in her own bulky suit. A little, Jake admitted. First time meeting aliens. You? Amy laughed. Terrified. But don't tell Commander Grant I said that. The ship shook slightly as it landed. Through the window, Jake could see a strange world. The sky was orange, not blue like Earth. 3 moons hung in the distance. Buildings made of crystal reached toward the clouds. Everything looked beautiful and dangerous at the same time. Commander Lisa Grant walked into the room. Her suit was marked with command stripes. Listen up, people. This is the most important day in human history. The Kelvorians are waiting for us. Be polite, be careful. And remember, they've never seen humans before. We represent all of Earth today. Jake swallowed hard. No pressure, he thought. Dr. Peter Hayes bounced on his feet with excitement. This is amazing. A whole new species. I can't wait to learn about their biology, their culture, their technology. Calm down, Peter, Lisa said. We're diplomats today, not scientists. Jake, you'll be handling the technical side if they ask about our suits or equipment. Amy, you're on security. Peter, you're our cultural advisor. Everyone clear? They all nodded. The door opened. Hot air rushed in, even through the ship's filters. Jake felt the temperature rise inside his suit. The cooling system kicked in automatically. Outside, the atmosphere would burn his lungs and melt his skin. The suit was the only thing keeping him alive. They walked down the ramp. A crowd of aliens waited at the bottom. Jake stared. The Kelvorians were tall, much taller than humans. Their skin looked like crystal, reflecting light in rainbow colors. They wore flowing robes that seemed to move on their own. Their faces were beautiful and strange, with large eyes and graceful features. One Kelvorian stepped forward. His robes were gold and red. Welcome to Kelvoria Prime. I am High Regent Thoris. We greet you in peace. Lisa bowed slightly. Thank you. I am Commander Lisa Grant of Earth. We come in friendship and hope for understanding between our peoples. Thoris nodded. His eyes moved over their suits with clear curiosity. Please follow us to the palace. The Emperor and Princess await you. They walked through the city. Kelvorians stopped to stare at them. Jake heard whispers, though he couldn't understand the words. Some aliens pointed at the joints in his suit. Others looked at the helmet. One small Kelvorian child reached out to touch Amy's arm before a parent pulled them back. They're fascinated by us, Peter whispered over the radio. Can't blame them, Jake said. We probably look pretty weird. The palace was huge. Everything glowed with soft light. The walls seemed alive, pulsing with energy. Guards stood at attention, their crystal skin catching the light like diamonds. They entered a great hall. At the far end sat 2 thrones. An old Kelvorian with a crown sat on the larger one. Next to him sat a younger female. She leaned forward, staring at the humans with bright, curious eyes. The Emperor and Princess Zalara, Thoris announced. Jake couldn't stop looking at the princess. Even among the beautiful Kelvorians, she stood out. Her crystal skin was a soft blue color. Her robes moved like water, but it was her eyes that caught him. They were full of wonder and questions. The Emperor spoke. Humans of Earth, you are welcome here. We have much to discuss. Trade, peace, the future of both our peoples. He paused. But first we must understand each other. You are different from us. We have never seen beings like you before. Lisa nodded. We are different, Your Majesty. Our worlds are very different. Our biology is very different, but we hope that differences can be bridges, not walls. The Emperor smiled. Well said. Tonight we feast. Tomorrow we talk. For now, rest and enjoy our hospitality. Servants led them to a side chamber. Food was brought, though eating in the suits was difficult. Jake used the feeding port, trying not to make a mess. He noticed Kelvorians watching them with fascination. Princess Zalara approached their table. Up close, she was even more striking. Forgive my boldness, she said. Her voice was soft and musical. But I must ask, your suits, are they part of you? Were you built this way? Jake blinked. Built? No, the suits are just equipment. We wear them to protect us from your atmosphere. Zalara tilted her head. Protect? But how do you remove them? I see no seams in the metal. No way to separate your body from the covering. Understanding hit Jake like a wave. She thinks we're machines. She thinks the suits are our bodies. Actually, he started to say, but Peter interrupted. The suits are very advanced, Peter said quickly. Human engineering at its finest, Jake frowned. Why didn't Peter correct her? But then he saw Lisa's slight shake of her head. Not now, her expression said. Don't confuse them yet, Zalara smiled. Remarkable. Your creators must have been very skilled to make artificial beings that seem so alive, so real. She looked directly at Jake. You even have personality, humor. I heard you joking with your companion earlier. Thank you, Your Highness, Jake said carefully. This was going to be a problem. A big problem, but Zalara's smile was warm and genuine. I hope we can talk more. I want to learn everything about you. About Earth, about how you were made. She paused. If that's not too forward. Not at all, Jake said. I'd be happy to tell you about where I come from. As Zalara walked away, Amy leaned close. She thinks we're robots. I know, Jake muttered. Are we going to tell them the truth? Jake watched Zalara talk with her father, gesturing excitedly toward the humans. Eventually. But for now, we just made first contact. Let's not complicate things more than they already are. But in his heart, Jake knew this misunderstanding would have to be cleared up. He just didn't know how much trouble it would cause when it finally came out. 3 weeks had passed since the humans arrived on Calvoria Prime. Jake Morrison had settled into a routine. Every morning he put on his environmental suit. Every morning he walked to the palace's human wing. And every morning Princess Zalara waited for him with a bright smile and dozens of questions. Tell me about Earth's oceans, Zalara said. They sat in a room with windows overlooking the Crystal City. Are they truly made of water? Liquid water that you can touch? Jake nodded. Yes, huge bodies of water covering most of the planet. Some parts are so deep we still haven't explored them all. Zalara's eyes went wide. And your creators designed you to explore these oceans? What materials did they use to make you waterproof? Jake sighed quietly. Every conversation was like this. Zalara asked innocent questions. Jake tried to answer honestly. But she always interpreted everything through her belief that humans were artificial beings. He'd tried to correct her a few times, but she just laughed, thinking he was being philosophical. The human body is naturally waterproof, Jake said carefully. Skin keeps water out. Skin? Zalara touched her own crystalline arm. Is that what you call your outer casing? Fascinating. It must be very advanced synthetic material. Jake gave up. Something like that. They spent hours together every day. Jake taught her about Earth's history, art, and music. Zalara shared stories of Calvorian culture. Their energy-based technology that seemed like magic. Their philosophy of light and harmony. The way Calvorian families bonded through shared memories. Despite the constant misunderstanding, Jake found himself enjoying their time together. Zalara was smart and curious. She laughed at his jokes. She asked deep questions about human nature, even if she thought that nature was artificial, and she listened. Really listened when he talked. I've never left Calvoria, Zalara admitted one afternoon. My father says it's too dangerous. A princess must stay safe. She looked sad. But I dream of traveling, of seeing other worlds, of meeting different beings. Maybe someday you will, Jake said. Perhaps. She looked at him. You're lucky, Jake Morrison. You were designed to explore, to travel between stars. I envy that freedom. Jake wanted to tell her the truth. That he wasn't designed by anyone. That he was born, like she was. That humans had worked and struggled to reach the stars. But Commander Grant had been clear. Don't push the issue yet. Let the trade negotiations finish first. Then they'd organize a proper explanation. The door burst open. Amy Collins rushed in. Jake, suit malfunction. Your temperature regulator is failing. Jake checked his display. Red warnings flashed. His suit was getting hot. Fast. I need to get back to the ship, Jake said, standing quickly. Zalara jumped up, her face full of worry. You're malfunctioning? Is it serious? Can you be repaired? I'll be fine, Jake said, trying to stay calm. Just need to get to the ship. I'm coming with you, Zalara insisted. They rushed through the palace. Jake felt sweat running down his face. The suit's cooling system was completely dead. The Calvorian atmosphere's heat was seeping in. If he didn't get help soon, he'd pass out. Amy called ahead. By the time they reached the ship, Dr. Hayes was waiting with tools. Get him to the repair bay, Peter said. They led Jake to a workbench. Amy started removing panels from his suit. Zalara watched every move, her crystal skin flickering with worry. Is he going to be okay? Zalara asked. He'll be fine, Amy said, pulling out a fried circuit board. The temperature regulator burned out. Common problem with these older models. Give me 10 minutes. Jake watched Zalara's face. She was genuinely scared for him. Not the way someone worries about a broken machine. The way someone worries about a friend. I was so frightened, Zalara said softly. She reached out and touched Jake's gloved hand. I thought you might stop functioning. That I'd lose you. Jake's chest tightened. Not from the heat. From something else. I'm okay, Zalara, really. Amy worked quickly, replacing the broken parts. Soon the suit systems came back online. Cool air rushed in. Jake sighed with relief. All fixed, Amy announced. Zalara smiled, though tears shimmered in her eyes. Kelvorians could cry, Jake realized. Just like humans. That night, Jake couldn't sleep. He lay in his quarters on the ship, thinking about Zalara's reaction. She cared about him, maybe more than just as a curiosity. And he cared about her too. But how could anything real exist between them when she didn't even know what he really was? The next morning, Zalara was waiting for him as usual. But something was different. She seemed quieter, more thoughtful. I realized something yesterday, she said. When I thought you were in danger, I didn't think about what your creators made you to do. I didn't think about your programming or your design. I just thought about you. About Jake Morrison. About my friend. Jake didn't know what to say. Does that seem strange? Zalara asked. To feel so strongly about an artificial being? No, Jake said honestly. It's not strange at all. They sat in silence for a while. Then Zalara spoke again. My father wants me to attend the Festival of Luminescence in 2 weeks. It's a celebration of our sun and moons. Very important to our culture. She paused. Would you come with me? As my guest? I'd be honored, Jake said. Zalara smiled. Good. I want to show you my world. The real Kelvoria. Not just palace rooms and formal dinners. As she left, Jake made a decision. After the festival, he would tell her the truth. No matter what Commander Grant said. Zalara deserved to know. Their friendship, whatever it was becoming, deserved to be built on honesty. But first, the festival. Jake had no idea that one night, one question would change everything between them, and between Earth and Kelvoria. Back on the ship, Commander Grant called a meeting. The trade negotiations are going well. The Emperor wants to sign agreements next month. But there's a problem. What kind of problem? Jake asked. High Regent Thoris, Lisa said. He's arguing that artificial beings shouldn't have equal rights in trade agreements. He says machines can't be true partners. Some other Kelvorians agree with him. Dr. Hayes frowned. So our misunderstanding is causing political problems. Exactly, Lisa said. We need to clear this up soon. But carefully. If we tell them the truth wrong, it could make things worse. Jake thought about Zalara, about her smile, about the way she'd held his hand when she thought he was in danger. I have an idea, Jake said, but you're not going to like it. The Festival of Luminescence was the most beautiful thing Jake had ever seen. Kelvoria's 3 moons hung huge in the orange sky. The crystal buildings glowed with inner light. Music filled the air, strange and wonderful. Kelvorians danced in the streets, their crystalline skin reflecting the light like living rainbows. Zalara wore a special robe for the festival. It was silver and seemed to capture moonlight. She looked stunning. Jake felt lucky to be walking beside her, even in his bulky environmental suit. What do you think? Zalara asked, gesturing to the celebration around them. It's incredible, Jake said honestly. We have nothing like this on Earth. They walked through the festival together. Zalara introduced him to other nobles. Some were friendly. Others stared at Jake with suspicion or fear. He heard whispers. Artificial being. Constructed one. Machine. But Zalara didn't seem to care what others thought. She held her head high and kept Jake at her side. They stopped at a balcony overlooking the city. Below, thousands of Kelvorians celebrated. Above, the 3 moons shone bright. Zalara leaned on the railing, looking peaceful. Thank you for coming with me, she said. I know some of my people make you uncomfortable. It's okay, Jake said. I understand. We're strangers here. Zalara turned to face him. You're not a stranger to me, Jake Morrison. These past weeks talking with you, learning about your world, You've become important to me. She paused. Is that foolish? To care so much about someone who was constructed rather than born? Jake's heart pounded. This was it. The moment he'd been both hoping for and dreading. Zalara, I need to tell you something. What is it? Jake took a breath.
What if I told you I wasn't constructed?
What if I told you the truth about what I am? Zalara smiled. I don't understand. You mean philosophically? That even artificial beings have souls or consciousness? No, Jake shook his head. I mean literally. Zalara, I'm not a machine. I'm not artificial. I'm alive, biological, organic, Zalara laughed. Not meanly, but like she thought he was joking. That's impossible, Jake. Nothing organic could survive in an environmental suit for weeks. Your body would need food, water, air. I have all those things, Jake said. The suit provides them. That's what it's for, protection. Zalara's smile faded. Protection from what? From your atmosphere. From the heat and acid in your air. From the radiation. Zalara, the suit isn't my body. It's clothing. Equipment. Underneath it, I'm flesh and blood, carbon-based, like you, but different. Zalara stared at him. Her crystalline skin seemed to pale. That's not possible. It is. We tried to explain it when we first met. But the translation was bad. Or maybe we didn't explain it well enough. But humans are biological. We're born, we grow. We live and die. We're not machines. Then why? Zalara's voice shook. Why didn't you show us? Why let us believe you were artificial? We didn't mean to deceive anyone, Jake said quickly. It just happened. And then Commander Grant wanted to wait until after the trade talks. But I couldn't wait anymore. You deserve to know the truth. Zalara stepped back. She looked confused, shocked, maybe even betrayed. I need to understand. You're saying underneath that suit is what? Organs, bones, blood? Yes, all of that. Then show me. The words came out sharp, demanding. If you're telling the truth, show me. Jake knew this was dangerous, but he'd come this far. I can't, not here. Your atmosphere would kill me in seconds. Then where? How can I believe you? The ship. We have a biocontainment chamber. You could be on one side, safe in your atmosphere. I could be on the other side, in Earth atmosphere. A transparent wall between us. You could see. Zalara was quiet for a long moment. Jake could see her mind working, trying to process everything he'd said. All right, she finally said. I want to see. I need to see. Because if you're lying to me, if this is some kind of game. It's not a game, Jake said. I promise. They left the festival. The walk back to the ship was silent. Jake called ahead. Amy answered. We need the biocontainment chamber ready, Jake said. So I'm showing Princess Zalara the truth. Jake, Commander Grant is going to kill you. Probably. But this is the right thing to do. When they reached the ship, Commander Grant was waiting. She looked furious. Morrison, what do you think you're doing? What I should have done weeks ago, Jake said. Telling the truth. The negotiations aren't finished. The negotiations are based on lies, Jake shot back. How can we build real partnership on misunderstanding? Before Lisa could respond, the door opened. High Regent Thoris strode in with a group of guards. I heard about this plan, Thoris said coldly. I cannot allow it. It's dangerous, reckless, it could harm the princess. Father gave me permission, Zalara said firmly. Jake was surprised by the strength in her voice. I am going to see the truth. You cannot stop me. Your Highness, please reconsider. No. Zalara looked at Thoris with royal authority. Contact my father if you wish. But I am doing this. Thoris glared at Jake. If you harm her, artificial being or not, I will see you destroyed. Understood, Jake said. Dr. Hayes led them to the biocontainment chamber. It was a room split in two by a transparent wall. One side had Kelvorian atmosphere. The other had Earth atmosphere. It's perfectly safe, Peter explained to Zalara. You'll be protected on your side. Jake will be protected on his. Zalara nodded. She looked scared but determined. They entered the chamber from opposite sides. The transparent wall was clear as glass. They could see each other perfectly. Are you ready? Jake asked through the intercom. Zalara nodded. Jake began to remove his suit. First the gloves. His hands appeared, pink flesh and 5 fingers. Zalara gasped. Then the arm sections. Hair on his forearms. Skin that looked nothing like her crystalline surface. Finally, Jake reached for his helmet. This was the moment. The point of no return. He removed it. Zalara's hands went to her mouth. Her eyes went wide. She stared at Jake's face. His brown hair, his eyes, his nose and mouth. All the features hidden for weeks, Jake smiled.
Hello, Zalara, this is me.
The real me. Tears formed in Zalara's eyes. She reached out, pressing her hand against the barrier. You're beautiful, she whispered. And I've been so foolish. Jake stood without his suit for the first time in front of a Kelvorian. He felt strange, vulnerable, but also free. Zalara stared at him from the other side of the barrier, her hand pressed against the transparent wall. Say something, Jake said. His voice sounded different without the suit's speakers. Softer, more natural. Your voice, Zalara whispered. It's so warm, real. She traced the outline of his face through the barrier. All this time I thought you were metal and circuits. But you're alive. Truly alive. I tried to tell you, Jake said. I know. I just couldn't understand. Or maybe I didn't want to understand. Zalara's tears flowed freely now. I feel like such a fool. All those questions about your creators, about your programming. You must have thought I was ridiculous. No, Jake said quickly. He moved closer to the barrier, matching his hand to hers. I thought you were curious, intelligent, kind. I never thought you were foolish. Zalara smiled through her tears. What else don't I know? Tell me everything. For the next hour, Jake explained human biology. How humans were born from mothers. How they grew from babies to adults. How they needed food and water and air. How they could be hurt and healed. How they felt emotions not from programming but from complex brains and hearts. Dr. Hayes had come into the observation area. He added scientific details, explaining DNA and evolution and all the things that made humans what they were. Zalara listened to everything. She asked a million questions. Some made Jake laugh. Some made him think deeply about what it meant to be human. Finally, Jake put his suit back on. When the chamber doors opened, Zalara rushed to him. She hugged him or tried to. The bulky suit made it awkward. I'm sorry, she said, for not understanding, for making assumptions. It's okay, Jake said. How could you know? We look so strange in these suits. You look wonderful, Zalara said, both with and without the suit. You're wonderful, Jake Morrison. They left the chamber together. In the hallway, they found chaos. Commander Grant was arguing with High Regent Thoris. Amy stood between them, looking ready to break up a fight. Other Kelvorians had gathered, all talking at once. What's going on? Jake asked. News leaked, Amy said, about what you showed the princess. Now everyone knows humans are biological, not artificial. Thoris pointed at Jake. Do you see what you've done? You've created panic, fear. My people don't know what to think about biological aliens. Maybe they should have asked instead of assumed, Jake said. How dare you? Enough. Zalara's voice cut through the argument. Everyone stopped. The princess stepped forward, looking every bit the royal she was. High Regent Thoris, you will show respect to our guests. Jake Morrison has done nothing wrong. If anyone is at fault, it's us. We made assumptions. We never asked the right questions. But Your Highness, Thoris said, biological beings are unpredictable. Dangerous, they could carry diseases. They could be our friends, Zalara interrupted. Our partners. Our allies. If we let fear guide us, we learn nothing. If we let curiosity guide us, we can build something wonderful. Jake felt a surge of pride. This was not the sheltered princess he'd met weeks ago. This was a leader, but Thoris wasn't convinced. The council must hear about this. The Emperor must decide. I agree, Zalara said. Let's bring this to the council. Let's discuss it properly. Let everyone make informed decisions instead of fearful ones. Over the next few days, chaos ruled Kelvoria Prime. News of humanity's true nature spread across the planet. Some Kelvorians were fascinated. They wanted to learn more about biological life. Others were scared. They saw humans as threats now, not as safe artificial beings. The trade negotiations stopped completely. High Regent Thoris led a group demanding that humans leave Kelvoria immediately. Ambassador Kareen led a group wanting to continue building friendship. Jake and Zalara were forbidden from meeting. The Emperor had ordered it, worried about political complications. But Zalara found ways. She snuck messages to Jake through Amy. She contacted Dr. Hayes to learn more about human biology and Earth's diverse life. Jake spent his time worried. Had he destroyed everything? Had his honesty ruined the first real chance at peace between Earth and Kelvoria? Stop beating yourself up, Amy said one evening. You did the right thing, did I? Look at what's happening. Growing pains, Amy said. Real relationships are built on truth. Whatever happens now is better than building on lies. A week after the revelation, Zalara sent a message. Meet me in the ship's observation deck, midnight, please come. Jake went, wondering what she wanted. He found her waiting, looking out at the stars. Even in his suit, even through the barrier between them, he could see how tired she looked. Zalara, what's wrong? I'm going to give a speech, she said. To the Imperial Council. To all of Kelvoria. About humans. About what I've learned. About why fear is the wrong response. That's brave, Jake said. I'm terrified, Zalara admitted. But it's necessary. My people are afraid because they don't understand. I need to help them understand. What can I do? Zalara turned to face him. Just knowing you're here helps. Jake, these past weeks with you have changed me. You've shown me that there's so much more to the universe than I knew. So much more than crystal cities and energy technology. There's flesh and blood. There's organic beauty. There's life that grows and changes and adapts. You've changed me too, Jake said. You've shown me that understanding isn't instant. The patience matters. That different isn't bad, it's just different. Can we still be friends? Zalara asked quietly. After all this chaos? After the misunderstandings and the fear? Always, Jake said without hesitation. Zalara smiled. Good, because I'm going to need a friend in the days ahead. What I'm about to do might make me very unpopular with some Kelvorians, but it's the right thing. I learned that from you. They stood together in the observation deck looking at the stars. Two very different beings from two very different worlds, but in that moment they understood each other perfectly, and that understanding would change everything. The Imperial Council chamber was packed. Kelvorians filled every seat, every balcony, every viewing area. Screens broadcast the meeting across Kelvoria Prime. Millions watched. This was the most important political moment in generations. Jake watched from a special human viewing box. Commander Grant sat beside him. Amy and Dr. Hayes were there too. They all wore their environmental suits as always. But now everyone knew what was underneath. Think she can pull this off? Amy whispered. I hope so, Jake said. His stomach twisted with nervousness. Not for himself, but for Zalara. The Emperor entered first. He sat on his throne looking old and worried. Then came Princess Zalara. She wore her royal robes. Her head was high. She looked strong and determined. High Regent Thoris stood to speak first. Your Majesty, honored council members, we face a crisis. The beings we thought were artificial are actually biological, organic, unpredictable. We don't know what diseases they carry, what dangers they pose. I propose we end all contact with Earth immediately. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. Ambassador Kireen stood next. I disagree. Yes, humans surprised us. Yes, we misunderstood them. But that's not their fault. They tried to explain. We didn't listen. Ending contact now would be foolish. We could learn so much from biological beings. More arguments followed. Some Kelvorians spoke with fear. Others spoke with curiosity. The chamber grew loud with debate. Finally, the Emperor raised his hand for silence. Princess Zalara has requested permission to address the council. I grant it, Zalara stood. She walked to the center of the chamber. For a moment she looked small and young. Then she began to speak and her voice filled the space. I stand before you ashamed, Zalara said, not of the humans, but of myself, of us. We pride ourselves on being advanced, civilized, enlightened. Yet when faced with something we didn't understand, we reacted with fear. The chamber went quiet. When I first met Jake Morrison, I thought he was a machine. A wonderful machine, yes. One with personality and humor and kindness. But still artificial. I spent weeks with him. I learned about his world. I called him my friend. And all that time I never asked the most basic question. What are you really? Zalara paused, letting her words sink in. When I finally learned the truth, I was shocked, confused, I felt foolish. But then I realized something. Jake Morrison was the same being before and after I learned he was biological. His kindness didn't change. His intelligence didn't change. His friendship didn't change. The only thing that changed was my understanding. Jake felt his throat tighten. She was magnificent, my people, I ask you this. What makes a being worthy of respect? Is it how they were created? Is it what material they're made from? Or is it their actions, their choices, their capacity for friendship and understanding? The humans came here in peace. They offered trade, knowledge, partnership. They adapted to our world, wearing suits that must be uncomfortable and limiting. They learned our language. They respected our customs. And when we made wrong assumptions about them, they tried patiently to correct us. Zalara's voice grew stronger. I have studied human biology with Dr. Hayes. Do you know what I learned? That biological life is beautiful, complex, adaptable. Humans can survive in environments that would destroy our technology. They can heal from injuries. They can grow and change and evolve. They are not weaker than us. They are different. And that difference is a gift. She turned to look at the human viewing box. Jake Morrison showed me something. He showed me courage. When I asked to see his true form, he agreed, even though it was dangerous. Even though it could have destroyed the relationship between our peoples. He chose honesty over safety, truth over politics. Zalara faced the council again. I am ashamed that my friend had to hide his true nature for weeks. I am ashamed that we made him feel he had to. But I am grateful for the lesson. We can either let fear guide us, or we can let curiosity and hope guide us. We can either push away the unknown, or we can embrace it. The chamber was silent. Every eye was on the princess. I propose we continue our relationship with Earth. I propose we learn from them as they learn from us. I propose we see biological life not as a threat, but as a wonder. And I volunteer to be the first ambassador to Earth to see their world as they have seen ours. Gasps filled the chamber. The Emperor's eyes widened. Zalara bowed to her father. If you'll permit it, Your Majesty. The Emperor stood slowly. He looked at his daughter for a long moment. Then he smiled. You have grown much, my daughter. You came to me weeks ago as a sheltered princess. You stand before me now as a true leader. He turned to the council. I support Princess Zalara's proposal. We will continue our relationship with Earth. We will build understanding, not walls. The chamber erupted in discussion. Some Kelvorians cheered. Others argued. But the decision was made. High Regent Thoris looked defeated. But Ambassador Kareen was beaming. After the meeting, Jake and his crew were invited to a private chamber to meet with the Emperor and Zalara. Commander Grant, the Emperor said, I apologize for the confusion and fear my people have shown. I hope we can move forward. We can and will, Your Majesty, Lisa said. The Emperor turned to Jake. Jake Morrison. My daughter speaks highly of you. She credits you with teaching her courage and honesty. That is a rare gift. She taught me just as much, Your Majesty, Jake said. Patience and understanding. Then you have been good for each other. The Emperor smiled. I'm told humans value friendship highly. I hope this friendship between you and my daughter can be a foundation for friendship between our peoples. I hope so too, Jake said. Later, Jake and Zalara stood alone on a palace balcony. The crisis had passed. The negotiations would resume. Trade agreements would be signed. Earth and Kelvoria would build a real relationship based on truth. You were amazing today, Jake said. I was terrified, Zalara admitted, but you gave me courage. You had it all along. You just needed a reason to use it. Zalara looked at the stars. I meant what I said. I want to see Earth. To breathe your air even if I need a suit like you need here. To see oceans and forests and all the biological wonders you've described. You'll love it, Jake promised. Will you show me? When I come to Earth? I'd be honored. They stood in comfortable silence. Two friends from different worlds, looking at the same stars, dreaming of the same future. 6 months later, Jake returned to Kelvoria Prime. He brought gifts from Earth, pictures of animals and plants, samples of water from the ocean, music from different cultures. Zalara greeted him with joy. She wore a new medal. Ambassador to Earth, it proclaimed. Ready for your trip? Jake asked. More than ready, Zalara said. I've been preparing. Dr. Hayes sent me specifications for a suit that will let me survive on Earth. It's being built now. Earth will seem strange at first, Jake warned. Good, Zalara said with a smile. I've learned that strange is wonderful. Different is exciting, and misunderstandings can become the deepest friendships if you're brave enough to push past them. You really have changed, Jake said. We both have, Zalara said. That's what real friendship does. It changes us, makes us better. They looked at the stars together. The future stretched before them, full of possibilities. Earth and Kelvoria, humans and Kelvorians building bridges across the galaxy. And it all started with one simple question and one brave answer. The question, Do you wonder what's beneath this suit? The answer, I'm alive. I'm real. I'm human. Let me show you. And that honesty changed everything.